Hi, I'm Katie, I'm the shelter manager, and today I'm going to show you guys how to clean our small animal room. So we're just going to use Colby as an example. They did already get cleaned this morning, so I'm just going to kind of be talking a lot about how to do everything. So basic things that are in a guinea pig cage is going to be the water bottle. We have litter pans with some newspaper and hay, and then everybody has like a little hut and like little blankets and toys and stuff like that. So basically, to start off, what we're gonna do is you're just gonna open up the cages, and you can take out anything that is on the bottom because we're gonna replace this sheet only if it's gross, but we'll go into it. So we'll just take out all of these. You can kind of shake them out a little bit. If they're really dirty, we can wash them, but if they're not dirty, you can definitely just shake them out and we'll reuse them for the same animal. So all of his stuff looks pretty good. Again, he was already cleaned this morning, but a lot of times their stuff is in pretty good condition. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the litter pan. And make sure that you shut the door, just because a lot of times guinea pigs want to run out.
Do you ever let them run out?
You definitely can. If you're cleaning like one guinea pig at a time, or one animal at a time, you can let them walk around. We have a little gate at the front door that you can just put up so that they don't escape while you're cleaning. But if we don't have a ton of guinea pigs or a ton of animals, it is nice to let them kind of walk around a little bit, like stretch their legs. But if there's like a bunch of guinea pigs in here and there's multiple people cleaning, obviously best case scenario is just keep them in the cages. But it's always nice to let them wander if you're okay with grabbing them after. So now that we have this, I'm gonna check this. Everything looks really good. It looks nice and clean. If it's not clean, we have a sink right here with some sponges and some soap. You can just wash it really quick, rinse it out, and wipe it down and reuse it for the same animal. So this is pretty clean, but I'm gonna just redo it just so everybody can see what you're gonna actually do. So if this is, a lot of times guinea pigs and bunnies will pee and poop in their litter box, but they also eat in their litter box as well, because they do eat certain, some of their poop as for certain nutrients that they can't get anywhere else.
Ew.
Yeah, it's gross.
That is gross.
But that's why, that's why we use their litter box for food, and they also use it to go to the bathroom. It also is better than putting food in a bowl, just because it gives them something to do. Since they're in a cage, they're at a shelter. Yeah, it gives them something to do. They have to kind of search for it a little bit. So normally how we would clean this is you would dump this out in the trash. Again, this is very clean, but usually it's all yellow and they pee and poop in it, so we want to make sure it's nice and clean and ready for them to go. So now what we'll do is, there are little bottles that say vinegar on them. We mix this with vinegar and water, just because it's not hazardous to small animals, so it's safe for guinea pigs, bunnies. So we'll just spray out that.
And everything's usually right in here.
The nice thing about the small animals is everything is right in the same room, so you don't have to, travel far for anything. Okay, so now that we have this all cleaned out, you're gonna go over here, and this is where we have all of our newspaper. So you can just pull this out, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna line the bottom. You don't wanna put a ton in, but I would recommend using more than less, just because it's easier to clean out. So
because it will absorb the pee.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna put a couple of pieces in here, just so it fits, the best you can. And then we're gonna go over here, and this blue bucket is what has all the hay in it. For all of our small animals, we only use Timothy hay. So there will always be Timothy hay in here. So we'll grab like a good handful.
Is there a reason you only use Timothy hay? Only because if you're a volunteer and say you notice it's running low and you want to go out and get some of the hay.
Yes, yep, and I can definitely show where the hay is after, but we'll only ever have Timothy hay available, so you'll never have to worry about using like a different type of hay. They're just able to digest Timothy hay. All the other different types of hay, it's just not good for them. They can't eat it. So Timothy hay is like what they mostly eat with vegetables. We obviously give these guys grains, but the biggest food source should be hay at all times, water of course, and greens. So I'm gonna put like a good handful, maybe a couple more pieces. You don't want to overfill it because we don't want to be wasteful, but we want to put enough in where they're able to kind of eat it. A lot of them will hang out in their little huts in it, so just to cover the bottom and maybe a little couple pieces extra. And then you'll go over here, and we have 2 bins, and they're labeled guinea pig food, and this one does have wet rabbit on it. So what we'll do is we'll just pull out the guinea pig. And guinea pigs do not need a lot of grain at all. So there's just this little 1/8 of a cup of little container. So what we'll do is we'll just scoop the grains.
But you will fill the container. What if there's 2 in there?
I don't know. Honestly, the best thing to do is just grab like a little less than a handful.
Okay.
Yep. And you just sprinkle it in the hay, and that's it. So now that we have this done, we'll put this aside. And now we're gonna focus on basically the bottom part of the cage. So there's a couple different ways that we can do this. We wanna try to save laundry as best as we can. So if there's no like deep pee stains or anything, or like poop smeared, we can actually, because their poop is so dry and so small, you can actually use a dustpan and brush to collect it all. So again, everything will be in this room. But we'll just grab a dustpan and brush. We'll come right over here. A lot of times we'll have like different like enrichment toys for them. So if you can save them, great. If you can't, you can always make a new one after. So for this, because again, he was already done, we're just gonna sweep up everything. And it's okay if he runs away a little bit.
He's cute.
He's very cute. You can go right into the trash as long as there's not stuff on it.
And I know in the other rooms, like you sweep and mop the floors. Is it necessary to sweep and mop the floors in here?
So after we're done cleaning, the whole floor needs to completely be swept. Mm-hmm. If there is extra time in the day, definitely like you can mop it, and staff can help you like show you where everything is in that sense. That doesn't necessarily need to happen every day, but sweeping does, because we do have people that come in and out. So. Yeah.
He's like, cut me out.
I know. So just for the sake of, you know, the training video, what we're gonna do is I will show you how to change the sheet on the bottom. So obviously he's still standing on it, but these are dog crates, so the bottoms just slide right out. So you're just gonna go slow. You don't need to rip it out. You're gonna go slow, and what I'll do is I'll just push his little butt, okay, to get over on the side. And you want to shake off any of the like excess hay into the trash. And
Oh, so it's like a pillowcase.
yeah, so one of our a couple of our small animal volunteers made these cases for the bottom of the dog crates. We don't always have these available, but we do, like, there are quite a bit made. So we'll take this off. And for the laundry, you can just pile it up on the ground somewhere, just where we're able to go, you know, grab it at the end. Again, closing the kennel.
And if that's not that bad, would you flip it?
Yeah.
Like how
yeah.
sometimes you do, like in the dog's room, like
Yeah.
you'll shake out the blanket if it's not.
If it's not disgusting and it
Bad.
genuinely can be like, it's only, you know, you can use it again, definitely reuse it.
Like just flip it, like
you know,
roll it over,
yeah,
or
you can just
however.
completely flip it on the, you know, so that the gross end is on the bottom of the kennel, because it will get cleaned. It's just, we want to try to save as much laundry as possible. So if it was, like, you know, like let's say that sheet was disgusting, it's already been flipped, well, then we'll go and get a new one. And usually all the sheets are in the back over here. We have a lot of guinea pigs right now, so we have extra cages, but we have sheets in this bin. Some of them are already in, like they made them pillowcases. Some of them aren't. So we're gonna just take this one. Actually, no.
I actually didn't realize that somebody actually made the.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So we're
that's pretty
gonna
nice.
grab the dinosaurs for him.
Woohoo!
So this is not made into a pillowcase. So I'll just show you how it goes on. If this bottom is really gross as well, because obviously sometimes the pee will go through, same thing with the vinegar, wipe it down, let it dry for a second, and then you can put the sheet on top of it.
No, that's a full sheet.
Yep, so this is not made into a case or anything like that. This is just a regular, it's pretty big, of course. I picked a bigger one. But what you're going to
Just
do...
lucky like that.
Right? So what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of put it over, and because it's a dog crate and it slides in, you can literally just... Watch now, I'm going to struggle with it. So you can put it... It's easy. Okay. And then obviously you don't want to squish them, so a lot of times it just takes a little bit of bribing. They'll do it on their own, but come here, buddy. Come on. Up, 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 up. Okay. Up, up, up. Don't go over there. Okay, so now it's all
Done.
the way in, and what I'll do is underneath all the cages, we do have other sheets just to protect each cage. So now what we'll do is I'll just pull that sheet out, make sure that that sheet's out. If you can tuck this in, definitely try and do it.
You mean like tuck it like
tuck
under?
it underneath.
Okay.
If you can't, it's not a big deal. You know, you can just kind of fold it so it sits nicely like right here. Now,
Okay.
we have all of our supplies. We're gonna go ahead and put everything back in. Usually they like their, and he's gonna move it, of course.
They like the house in the litter box.
Yep, so they like the little huts because then they like feeling protected. So they like to have like covers and just like a place where they can eat and they kind of feel
hideaway.
safe. Exactly. So now we're gonna put everything kind of back the way that we had it.
Because everything was pretty clean, because like you said, it was just
It
done
was
this
just
morning.
clean. So with the waters, oh, I missed one. With the waters, it's really important to check the water daily. Dump the waters every single day and refill them. If you notice that one of them seems to be slimy or you're just not sure, just completely wash it. You know, you can, there's a bunch of like little tools over here. There's a little bathtub and it has little brushes specifically for bottles like this. Just take it off, clean it, rinse it thoroughly, and put more water back into it. Just because you never know what the person the day before did, so rather be safe than sorry. And you know, even a lot of people will do this at the very end. They'll clean all the guinea pigs and all the bunnies, and they'll go through and they'll check every single water, refill all the waters. As long as it gets done, it doesn't matter the order you do it in, just as, you know, as long as all the waters are being checked. So now he's all set, so we'll...
Now, I know like they already had their greens, but where would we find the greens?
Yeah, so
and
once everybody's done being cleaned, then you can give out greens, which is lettuce, carrots. If anything, you want to give them lettuce other than carrots, because carrots are kind of a sweet treat for them because they do have a pretty good amount of sugar in them. So you do want to give them lettuce. If you have an option between lettuce and carrots, definitely give them lettuce. If you have enough, you can do a little bit of both. But make sure you do that at the very end, because they all freak out when they're all trained. They know the minute you go to the fridge or grab something that sounds like a bag, they get very excited. So we have a lot of stuff here right now.
Right. So, I know. So that little refrigerator is where you would check first.
Yep. So this is where all of. So we have a good amount of lettuce in here. We have some apples you can cut up, and there's a knife, and you can like cut it up right over here in this section. There's a cutting board. There's a bunch of lettuce. If there is nothing in here, you would want to go into the staff break room, the big fridge. A lot of times we'll put extra lettuce or carrots in there. So that's where you want to check second. Always check here first, just in case. And if we don't have anything, it is okay. You can let a staff member know that we don't have any greens, and we will put kind of a plea out either on Facebook or volunteers to bring some in. Also, these are where our litter boxes are. So they're always tucked right underneath there. When you come in, all the guinea pigs will of course have litter boxes because we set everything up. But if for some reason, you know, you need one, everything is right there. And so, obviously, you know, that's for a guinea pig. For bunnies are very similar. You know, the biggest thing for bunnies is they most of our bunnies are in X pens. Sometimes they will be in dog crates, but most of them are in X pens like this. So for bunnies, you definitely can let them come out and, you know, hop around, walk around while you're cleaning. It's just easier for you, and it gives them, even though they have a lot of space, it gives them more space to kind of just get out of the cage for a little bit. So very similar, what you're gonna do is you can just move these X pens around. Obviously they're very flexible. So same thing, if you can sweep off the sheet, definitely do it. If the sheet is really dirty and gross, obviously let's completely take off everything and shake out the sheet so that you're not bringing any hay or poop or any dirt back into the laundry. And sweep the area, put another sheet down, and then just move the X pen around to go over it. You want to make sure that the sheet is fully around the X pen. Sometimes if you use a sheet and it's not big enough, you definitely can use two. That's not an issue at all. We do have pretty large sheets though. You might see that some of these cages have sheets on the side. That's just because if it's a male and a female, and we do get everybody spayed and neutered, but sometimes they're not spayed or neutered yet. So a lot of times it can prevent, you know, spraying or peeing outside of their cage. Also, if they get close enough and they don't like each other, it just prevents them from seeing each other to do any fighting or anything like that.
Now, who would put up the sheets? The staff?
The staff will put up the sheets, but if you notice something, if you're like, hey, they're really close to each other, I keep noticing that they keep trying to fight, then tell a staff member. But you can also, if you want to, you can 100% put up a sheet yourself, whatever you feel comfortable with. All of the water bottles for the bunnies, same thing. We'll put them, you know, check them every single day. A lot of times with bunnies, we will also put a bowl of water in there. We never used to, but we just feel like it gives them an extra source of water if they don't want to drink out of the actual water bottle. And especially in the summer, we want to make sure that they have plenty of access to fresh water. So that if they do have a bowl, just clean it out, fill it back up, and put it right back in their cage. And they have the exact same system for the litter boxes. It's the newspaper, hay, and then you would use this rabbit food. And there is this scoop, and it's the exact same thing. And the same thing, if you don't have the scoop, you can just do a handful.
And that goes into the litter box
litter
with
box.
the hay.
Yep, it's the
just
exact
like
same thing. Yep, right into the litter box with the hay.
And they get toys.
And they get toys. You know, if we have huts, we'll give them huts. You know, you can give them. We have a bunch of like little toys over in this corner, which I can show you after. So yeah, just making sure that everybody is taken care of and everybody's clean. They do have little name tags, so you usually will be able to see their name, their age, and if they're female or male. If you ever notice anything off with anybody, or you notice, you know, two guinea pigs that came in together, if they're fighting, just let a staff member know. That way we can kind of determine if we need to separate them or keep them together. There are obviously a lot of guinea pigs in here, a lot of bunnies in here right now, so it tends to get a little stressful for them. So if they are fighting, we can either offer a bigger cage, or if it comes, you know, down to it, we will separate them. So that's for basic cleaning for bunnies and guinea pigs. And of course, now after that we're done with the cleaning, we're done with everything, you do want to go through and sweep everywhere. So you really want to make sure that everything is nice and tidy, because we are open every day beside Mondays and Wednesdays now, and people come through here, and it is not only good for the public, but it's also good for the animals to be in a nice, clean, happy environment. And we're going to try to do our best while we can. So.
And now I noticed that some of them have 2 water bottles. Is that because there's 2 guinea pigs in there, or?
Yep, some of them have 2 water bottles because there's 2 guinea pigs in there. A lot of times people will do 2 water bottles just in case. That they are not
He's
dead,
ridiculous.
they're sleeping.
Don't
or just laying
poke
down.
He's cute.
Sometimes we put 2 water bottles in there for even 1 guinea pig if we notice that they're drinking a lot. You know, it's not necessary, but we just like to make sure that they have extra.
He's cute.
They're really freaking cute.
He's tired.
I know.
Look at him.
Yeah, they're all hanging out.
I can't.
So that is it for the bunnies and guinea pigs.
How come there's two?
So this is for specific baby bunnies. Mostly staff will be able to deal with this. But for baby bunnies or even baby guinea pigs, they can slip right through the cracks of the cage, through the holes. So we want to make sure that they don't escape. Has happened. So we just try to do the best of our ability that they have extra protection for staying contained. And they obviously, you know, with bigger rabbits or multiple rabbits, we'll put more than one litter box in here. So obviously we had 5 baby bunnies. We only have 4 now because one got adopted, but we want to make sure that we have extra litter boxes with hay and food and huts and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
So with that being said,
babies.
we do sometimes get kind of like exotic animals, and I'm gonna just explain how to do that. So I'll explain that in the next video. So we have chinchillas here right now. We don't always get chinchillas or, you know, ferrets in. So when we do, we will kind of show you how to clean them individually, just because it's not something that we see normally like guinea pigs and bunnies. The only thing that you really need to know about these guys, and again, we'll go more into detail and depth when they do come in person, but very similar. You're gonna make sure that everybody has sheets. Nobody has just like the plastic flooring. Everybody has the regular sheets, waters. Making sure everybody has food. Chinchillas do get dust baths, but that's not something that we would have you guys do. The staff would do that just to make sure they don't get it all the time. So again, for chinchillas, ferrets, anything like that, we will kind of go into more depth about how to clean that. We do have birds that are also in our cat room, not free, in cages. And that is a little bit of the same thing. We will show you how to do that. It's very simple. It's just making sure that they have food, water, and changing out the newspaper on the bottom.
And sometimes we get mice.
Yes, yep.
And hamsters.
Yep, sometimes we get mice and hamsters. The staff usually does a big clean of them once a week, but you definitely can give them, change out their water, the exact same thing, and making sure that they have food, and the food will always be right next to the cages. So like for chinchilla, food right here, birds, there's food right next to it, and mice, there's food right next to that as well.
And the staff will let the new volunteers know like how much food to give them.
Yep.
Because sometimes they may not need as much food every day.
Yes, mice definitely tend to, mice and rats definitely tend to hoard their food and bring it down to the very bottom of the cage under all the bedding. So, you know, it might look like all the food's gone, but it's not. They're just bringing it down to save for later. So we like to make sure that they're getting fed, but we're not overfeeding them. So we can definitely go into more depth in that in person so that everyone knows exactly what they need to do. And that is how to clean the small animal room. Alright, so we're actually not done yet. So there are a couple of things that you want to do at the end of the shift to get ready for the next person for the next day. So obviously when you're done with the trash, you want to make sure that you take the trash out to the dumpster that is out the back and put a new bag in it. And then for the hay, a lot of times...
Where would you find the bags?
So the bags will always be over here. If you need more, they'll always be in the garage, and a staff member can show you exactly where they are if you just cannot find them. For the hay, you know, when you're going through all of these animals, you tend to use up a good amount of hay. If you notice that there's, you know, you need to fill it with more hay, what you'll do is you'll take this bin, you can roll it's on wheels, so you can roll the whole bin, and you can roll it right through this door. You're gonna go out the back garage door. And this is the blue hay bin that has all of our bales of hay. You wanna make sure that you're using the bales before you're using the hay in boxes or bags.
And where was that dumpster? I mean, I feel like people would probably see it when they're parking back here because this is where they park, but just in case.
Just in case. So this is our dumpster. You could throw everything right in here. Even if you want to bring the trash, if you need to drag it out here, if you can't carry it, or ask a staff member if you're having any issues. One last thing before we end the video, there is a little whiteboard, you can't miss it, and it just has a bunch of volunteer notes for the small animals specifically. It is right next to the sink. Again, you can't miss it. It's a big whiteboard. Just has some basic information. And if you do ever notice anything or you ever need help, always ask a staff member. You know, we're here to help, and we appreciate you guys cleaning the smalls.